It has changed my life in so many positive ways. When I first heard of Sacred Priesthood, I remember walking in and Corinne was there and she said, "You need to take Sacred Priesthood." And I said, "I know. I don't know what it is, but I'm signing up for it." And I immediately felt an instant connection to Corinne as well. I know I've known her. The minute I saw her, I was like, I know that woman.
Some of the things that I have gotten out of class, one of the ones was month 2 for protection, and learning some of the rituals that we can use to protect our space, protect ourselves, and when you're doing healings, protecting everything in the room, including your clients. So I have gone so deep and learned so much that I use these rituals when I sleep. I wake up remembering that I use them to help me. That was amazing.
So the transformation is really about you taking a look at yourself, kind of going within, trying to find out all those spiritual pieces that you're really looking for. But it's also about just stepping into the rituals and really becoming one with what you're learning. So you kind of transform and evolve as you go. So it's not necessarily just a class or a moment, it's kind of evolution as you unfold into this teaching and this wonderful experience.
The biggest thing I think I've really walked away with Sacred Priesthood is having a new sisterhood that I can really depend upon if there's something that is coming up, or if I need a little extra guidance on. I've got a tribe of girls that regardless of what it is, I can reach out to them and they're going to be 100% authentic and honest with me, which I think is really hard to find.
Well, first of all, it is a daily thing. It's a daily journey. It's not just, oh, I'll do this and I'll do that. You do something every single day, and it changes your outlook. When you go to work, whatever that may be, it changes the way that you even think about work. It changes the way that you react to people.
Sacred Priesthood is so enriching. It really is. It's hard to explain all that you get out of it. Of course, you have to put the time in. So the classes are beautiful. Like, obviously, you said the most beautiful temples. And I love helping. But the rooms are, so the whole environment. So when you walk into it, you do feel like you're walking into a sacred temple, right? Which is very important in this. And all of the classes build on top of each other, so that's important too, because you couldn't break them. Even though they're different subjects, they are a building process, and as you go through, you're growing and changing as you're going through, and it's so true. Like you told us, like who you are now is not who you're going to be at the end, and we're 9 months in, and we are all different. But we're all so close to each other.
Sacred Priesthood class is unlike any of the other classes and workshops here at Discover Your Spiritual Gifts. With Sacred Priesthood, you're really on a path. It is a journey, and it is a group effort. So the work that we do together is going to be more powerful and more strong than anything that we could do solo. And watching each other grow and just really expand through month after month as we learn all the different types of work involved with being a priest or priestess has been pretty amazing. If you are even remotely curious about what it might mean to be a sacred priest or priestess, I would highly encourage you to get in touch with Violet.
Priestesses, we're here to lift the vibration of the collective and of the planet, and really mindfully change the way that we see things can help change the way that others perceive their life. And I've taken something from every single month of this class. There has been something that I've been able to take away. There's been a lot of information, and I have found myself now being near the graduation going back to a lot of the, books and the months, and certain things are starting to pull me in different directions. And they're things that I don't even remember learning in that class, but all of a sudden being drawn to it and embracing it, and now knowing how to fully jump into these areas, with flowers. That was one of the, that was the first class when you taught us, bringing in our own flowers and picking them out ourselves, and what the meaning of that was. Now being in spring and being at home and with what we're dealing with now, and really setting up my garden and mindfully setting it up and understanding the meaning, I never would have thought that. I would have just gone off of the beauty of the flower, not what the meaning behind it is. The just gardening is a whole nother aspect now.
It has been overwhelming in a lot of ways, overwhelming in a good way, because there's so much information that you give us and that we learn, that I'm trying to absorb it in my daily life, but it's all magical, and it's the spiritual part of life that I've wanted.
The reason I chose to take the Sacred Priesthood class is because I was looking for a group of like-hearted people to take the journey of exploring rituals and old practices that are sacred, and help me see the sacred in beauty and love in the world. And to take that journey with like-minded, like-hearted people is incredibly important and wonderful, and a gift to myself and the world.
I am petrified of flying. Terrified of flying, terrified of small spaces with large groups of people like that, and just that was hard. My husband dropped me off at the airport. I flew out by myself from the get-go, and it was something that I had to come over very quickly. And thank goodness one of the first things you taught us was a Nomini Padre, because I used the crap out of that while we were on the plane. But yeah, we during Angelic Reiki, we drove out there both weekends, the family and I did. So it was a family and adventure, and for Sacred Priesthood, it was just me. So I had to really settle into the getting over the fear of flights and public spaces like the airports, and it only took me 2 or 3 times getting lost in Denver airport until Tom finally figured out how to get me out. Yeah, it was definitely interesting, but the traveling, feeling the different energy from leaving St. Louis and then heading out to Colorado, it was just, the energy of it was so different. I could feel the change. I could feel, it's almost like the call from the mountains is just so strong compared to what it is here in St. Louis, because we don't have mountains. But it just really sets the tone of everything. And so whenever I was flying, most of the time I was reading my spiritual books or listening to my spiritual podcasts or things like that. So it was almost like preparing me for class and getting me ready to be in that energy for 4 days, and just getting myself set to be in temple and to be in the energy of my sisters and everybody involved. And it was always such a blessing being with you and Tom for the days that we came out, the days that I came out, and then you blessing us with getting to bring little Miss Rhea along, who's to this day still can't stop talking about Colorado. So it's been really fun, and it was worth every single moment, every single penny of it. And I've definitely walked away with a lot from this, and so has my family. So it's been really, really awesome.
And I would say that it's worth every penny. Every penny that you spend on this class, it's worth it. So if you can only afford one class, take this class. This class is the one you want to take. It's going to change your life.
Discover connection, awaken sacredness, become empowered. Come experience a difference at Discover Your Spirit.